welcome back. All right. Okay. Oh man. Did any of you guys watch the presidential debate, by the way?
Oh my god.
I know. It was funny. Like, I was watching it to get like writing material, and all I got was depression. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I got you guys back. And the next comic is a man that needs no introduction.
Hey, so how's everyone doing? Everyone back from the little break? Yeah. Who am I?
Yeah.
I forget. Can you tell? So apparently the lovely David Zimmerman. Spouse of the lovely Thomas Zimmerman. Famous director at the Los Alamos Little Theater. Alright, so I know that, well, especially based on what John just had, it's a common thing for comics to come up here and talk about controversial topics like politics. I like to keep it more lighthearted and just stick to fun subjects like religion. So I'm Jewish. It is a religion, but it's actually way more than that. It's also a race. According to Ancestry.com, I am 99% Eastern European Jewish and 1% Baltic Jewish. I saw that and I thought, well, that's a little strange. Wow. Yeah, most of all, because last I checked, the Baltics are in Eastern Europe. So. All I can think is Ancestry has some kind of policy that says, okay, no matter what, you have to tell everyone there are at least two things. So it's kind of like, does anyone here know about the first guy who not climbed, but measured the height of Mount Everest? So when he did, he published it at 29,002 feet. And a couple days later, his assistant comes to him and says, we measured it at exactly 29,000 feet, didn't we? He said, well, yeah. He said, well, why did you publish 29,002? He said, well, I can't say exactly 29,000. I don't think I made it up. So Ancestry, I think, kind of did the same thing he did, which is, for the sake of not wanting to look like they made something up, they made something up. So I am genetically Jewish, which I don't think any other religion can say something like that. Never heard anyone say, you know, according to 23andMe, I'm 70% Roman Catholic, 20% Southern Baptist, and 10% Pastafarian. So growing up Jewish in America is mostly fine. Never really had to deal with any anti-Semitism, at least until recently. But there are a few little pet peeves I have. The main one is probably whenever you make any kind of incorrect assumption about Christianity, you get treated like an idiot. And if you point out any incorrect assumption they might make about Judaism, you get treated like an asshole. Pretty much every conversation I've had with a Christian that had anything to do with religion is to end with me saying, never mind. So, like, I had this friend, and I asked her, saying, okay, so I've just always been curious about this. When your kids found out that Santa Claus is made up, did any of them ask, oh, does this mean Jesus is made up too? She just looked at me like I'd asked, do you pee in the holy water? Said, no, of course not. Santa Claus is made up. Jesus is real. Never mind. So on the other end, first time I met my soon-to-be mother-in-law, she was coming to visit her lovely daughter. She was unpacking in the apartment, and she pulls this thing out of her suitcase. She says, oh, Dave, they were giving these away at my grocery store if you spent like $10. It looked like a Jewish thing, so I thought you might like it. There you go. Jewish thing? Yay? What the hell is it? Dreidel? Then I sighed. Well, it wasn't a dreidel. I tried and completely failed to hide the shock in my face. A few minutes later, my then girlfriend and now wife got me alone and said, "Hey, what was with that face you made? You know, Mom got that thing for you and brought it all the way here and gave it to you. You clearly didn't appreciate it." I said, "Well, okay, I appreciate she got something for me, but do you know what this is?" I said, "Well, it's a candle." "Yeah, do you know what kind of candle it is?" "No, does it matter?" Like, "Yeah, a little bit." This is a yard site candle. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with it, let me just put it this way. It is not the best nice to meet you gift. It is a candle the Jews burn to commemorate the anniversary of a loved one's death.
Oh.
So I got her back a few years later, though. She took me to a Catholic mass, and afterwards she said, "Well, what did you think of it?" I said, "Well, to be honest, it's kind of long and boring. It talks a little bit too much about Jesus for my taste. But at least I found the snacks." "Snacks? What snacks?" I said, "Oh, those crackers over there." "Oh my God, you didn't eat one, did you?" "No. I had like 8 of them." I said, "Oh, you're not supposed to eat those. Those aren't crackers. That's the body of Christ." "Oh. Did he ever drink water? Because it's like the driest thing I've ever eaten." At least I found some wine to wash it down with. So she was not looking too good. She said, "Oh, I think I'm going to faint and fall over." And I said, "Oh, you'll be fine." Just in case, though, I still have that candle. So I moved here from Oregon, which is not the most, despite being progressive in many ways, it's not the most progressive when it comes to understanding other religions. I remember the first winter I was there having a conversation with somebody went a little like this. She said, "Dave, are you going home for Christmas?" "Well, no, I don't celebrate Christmas." "What do you mean?" "I don't celebrate Christmas." "Why not?" "Well, I'm Jewish." "Oh, Jews don't celebrate Christmas?" No, we don't." "Why not?" "Well, I'm pretty sure it's just because we're too cheap to pay for all those presents." You do realize there's people in this world that don't celebrate Christmas, right? I guess. What do you do all day?" "Well, probably the same thing you do all day, Yom Kippur." "Yom Kippur? What's that?" "Oh, it's the most sacred day of the year in the Jewish calendar." "Well, I'm Jewish. That day doesn't mean anything to me." "Exactly." "Exactly what?" Never mind. So I will say that Los Alamos is actually much better about, it's got a higher percentage of Jewish population, and for those that aren't, they seem to be more understanding of what it's like to be Jewish. About the only real complaint I have around here is driving. So on the one hand, there's like no cars here. I certainly learned that. I was driving one day and I was saying to myself, "Oh my God, the traffic is just awful today." Oh wait, no, it's just 4 cars in front of me at a red light. On the other hand, the cars that are here, they tend to, do certain things like not pay attention to certain traffic laws. Just the silly ones like speed limits, and that draconian one that says don't cross the double yellow line to pass somebody. Heard Shauna complaining about this to someone. She said, "Oh, I hate driving on the truck route. It's like being in the Indy 500. I overheard this and I immediately said, "Wait, no, the Indy 500 is nothing like the truck route. Those people all know how to drive." So she's actually a much better driver than I am, but I am the better driving instructor. Taught both our girls how to drive. The older one was, let's just say really cautious. First time I took her out, We had to go into an empty parking lot and just go up and down the rows for like an hour. Eventually I just said, okay, you do realize that at some point I'm going to have to teach you how to drive more than 5 miles an hour, right? And are you ready to go out into traffic? And she just told me with the utmost confidence, yeah, I guess. So we're approaching the street. She's inching up and looking, inching, looking, not going, inching, not going. It's kind of like the reverse of the Energizer Bunny, still not going. I just said, okay, what are you waiting for? For that car. What car? That one over there. Wait, that one that's like a half mile up the road? Yeah, I think you're safe from him. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I hate to break this to you, but you do know that they are not going to clear the road of every other car every time you want to go somewhere, right? And so she turned out to be a good driver. My younger one was actually way more aggressive. She wanted to go out into traffic right away. And sure enough, 20 minutes after she got a permit, she got into an accident. She hates it when I tell people that. And I always have to say, well, it's true, isn't it? Her response is, well, technically it's true. I think you're leaving out a couple of important details. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for one, we were rear-ended. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we weren't moving. Oh, and one other little thing, probably not even worth mentioning. You were the one driving, Dad. So I did, after just a couple days, I was teaching her, remembered that, oh, there is something about driving in Los Alamos I need to talk to her about. It's wildlife. So we're driving on, I think it was San Ildefonso, and I said to her, okay, I should probably have said this before, but I'll say it now. You do need to keep an eye out 100% of the time. You just never know when a wild animal is going to run across the road. And sure enough, not 2 seconds later, a coyote goes running right in front of the car. She was like, wow, how did you know that was going to happen? So I said, all right, well, I got to level with you. I had a little conversation with that coyote yesterday. She said, I'm going to be teaching my daughter to drive. We're going to be driving right by here around noon tomorrow. And I'm going to tell her about wild animals. As soon as I say that, you can run in front of the car. That would just be great. So speaking of wild animal encounters, who here has had one with your car? What'd you hit?
Bear.
Okay.
A deer.
A what?
Deer.
Oh, okay. So it's funny you should say that because I, a few months ago, had my own little encounter with a bear. I thought I was the only one. Good to know that I'm not. So one night I'm driving home from Santa Fe, just driving on the highway. I see this kind of flash off to the left. Is that a fucking bear trying to cross the road? Oh, I guess it was. And I really like, about half the people's reaction when I told them this was, oh, poor bear, is he okay? I said, well, I'm fine, thanks for asking. As for the bear, I have no idea. Well, didn't you stop and check on him? What? No! I'm not gonna stop at night in the middle of the highway to check on some bear that's too stupid to look both ways before he crosses the street. Besides, I'm only gonna find one of two things. Either a dead bear, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do about that, or a live, injured, or pissed off bear. I can barely outrun a snail. Well, thank you. That's my time. I've been Los Alamos' favorite sit-down comic.